Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be click clack, candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the tracks, violate the tracks. OG off the house, violate the trap, violate the tracks. Oh, violate the black. OG off the house. Violate the tracks. OG walk in the house. Violate the tracks. Oh, violate the tracks. OG walk in the house.
Yeah. Say the market's tight, gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than mid. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. On the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, black candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. When he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision.
OG off the house, violate the track, violate the track. OG off the house, violate the track.
In the place where the wild is grown with his funny and vault his co-host. Let the stories begin from the paranormal to the political currency madness gaming world so vast. We're bringing future from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come. Mo and unravel tight, 'cause we've got whispers of ghosts in the hall. You're old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping.
Waiting for it to flip over. Come on, there it is. What's up, everybody? Let's go. We are live finally. Sorry about the technical difficulties and the late start, and it looks like chat's not working either. What's up, Mo? How we doing?
Uh-oh. Good, man. I'm good. It's Tuesday. I was looking forward to the show, but I don't think your computer is looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a big problem right now. Yeah, chat's not working at all. I can see the chat, but I'm not able to put it on screen. So sorry about that. Maybe it'll catch up when my computer catches up. I used to have these problems all the time, but nowadays the computer is not working well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Big A here early in the chat. Roger Collects, Mr. Abdullah. What's up, Stan? What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out. Bruin88's ready to go. He said he's gonna every time he hears Kamala cackling tonight, he's gonna take a sip of alcohol. You're gonna be drunk, bro. She's gonna be laughing all over the place. What's up, Denny OC? Thanks for hanging
I
out,
almost
y'all.
feel like we should have done this later on tonight on Kick and just watched the debate and just done it live.
I'd be down to do that. Probably have a lot to say about it though. Bruin88, if you want me to fix the chat, I can. But we'll have to go black for a second. Y'all want me to fix the chat real quick? I can do it. Every time I restart OBS, it messes up on me. All right. Let's fix the chat real quick since we don't have a paranormal topic. This will be the paranormal, me disappearing for a second. And then we'll come back here and we'll get into the other topics. Unless anybody in the chat has something paranormal they want to talk about. We couldn't come up with any more topics. Like Mo was saying in DMs earlier, we done went down every rabbit hole we could think of. So if you guys have a rabbit hole worth going down, please let us know. I'm going to fix the chat. I'll be right back. here. All right. All right, let's see if that works. Reset to bring chat back on screen. Let me do a test. Oh, yep, that works. Now let's see if the chat will pop up there. Somebody say
Hello.
something. Boom, let's go. We are ready. Everything is fixed. The chat is ready.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. How was your week this week, Mo?
Oh man, I'm glad it worked because I needed. I look forward to this show. Early on I was like, man, just get on and rant and piss people up. And then as time goes on, I look forward to this show more and more. I appreciate hanging out with you for a little bit. Get to catch up, get to talk to chat. It's been a rough week, man. If I'm being honest. Football came back. Always glad when football comes back. However, I think we talked about this. My best friend passed away a few months back, who was a massive Jets fan. So, watching last night's game in particular, we got beat. But early on, man, like Roger started getting in rhythm, and I got my other homie, Ricky, who's also a massive Jets fan. And he's like, bro, we waited our whole lives for this. I'm so excited. And I just keep on, normally I jump to my other group chat with my boy and be like, yo, and I realize that he's no longer here. And it's been a rough one to say the least. But, life goes on, so I do appreciate, getting a chance to get on here and kind of shoot the shit. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely. I wish I was keeping up with football more. I haven't really been watching yet, but I hear the Colts have a good defense this year, so I'll probably try to keep track of it. I don't watch the full games anymore, but I will watch highlights, so I'll try to keep up with it. Are you doing any fantasy football?
yeah, I play in a big money league, and I normally do a lot of DFS and parlays. Hit for a $150 parlay on opening night, and just missed like a $1,500 hit, one catch.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, I play, but I do like $2-3 plays.
Right.
I do like 5 or 7 parlay picks, and if you hit one a season for like 1,000, 1,500, it pays for everything else. So
Nice, yeah.
I'm doing that for a long time.
If you only got to pay a few bucks, that's not bad at all. I need to get into that. I've never done that before. It's kind of a newer thing. But yeah, if I was watching it better, if it was like NBA, I don't know, I might get into some NBA stuff like that. We only got to pay a few bucks. You get lucky, guess everything right, and make some good money. Shout out to C Spills in the chat. We got Splint here. Let's go. I see y'all talking about the Ducks and the Cats. Oh, we're definitely going to get into that. And then Bruins bringing up about Tyreek Hill. That's actually going to be our topic. So let's go ahead and move to sports. Is it going to...
Do I sound tinny or sound like I'm in a bathroom? Is that on my end maybe?
Sounds regular to me. I don't know. Anybody else in the chat feel like Mo sounds like he's in a bathroom? He got an echo or something? It might be a little bit of echo because you're hearing it from my microphone. I don't wear headphones like a lot of people do, but usually it's not a big problem. Then he says, super proud dad moment. My boy made the high school team starting defensive end. Let's go.
Let's go, Denny.
All of Denny's kids play sports, it seems like. Congratulations. My kid was thinking about playing football. I felt like I kind of talked him out of it. I was big on football. A lot of times we'll be out and people will recognize me from my football days. So he wanted to play football really bad, and I was like, you really shouldn't be banging your head against other people when you're this young. It's not good for your brain development. So he didn't play, but now we've been going to the games, the middle school games, and all his friends are on the team. So he's like, I'm definitely playing next year. So might get a little CTE.
There you go. Well, we didn't have any paranormal, but maybe a parent normal. Because real quick, I don't have any kids, so you do. I know a lot of people in chat do. So it's got to be kind of a cool feeling, though. I mean, if you're like a sports dad and your kid gets into sports, like Denny's talking about right now, and your kid makes the team, like almost living vicariously through them, depending on how your sports career went, maybe, maybe they're better than you. Hopefully they are, stuff like that. I just feel like that's got to be kind of a cool moment. What do you, your kid play any sports? I know he didn't play football, but do you play basketball or anything like that?
Well, we started off playing Little League Baseball. I coached his Little League Baseball team, and he played 3 years in a row, maybe 4 years in a row. He started off with T-ball, played all the way up to like 4 years in a row. I coached his team like 3 years of the 4 years, and then the pandemic hit. And after the pandemic hit, they went like 2 years in a row where they didn't have baseball at all. So after that, he lost interest in it. We have our own basketball goal, as you know, Mo. You've been to the house. We got a basketball goal out in the driveway, and we used to play a lot, but he doesn't play much anymore. I don't know. It's pretty hard to make a basketball team, especially around here. I mean, you got to be good. And those kids play all the time or practice all the time. So he doesn't practice enough. He doesn't have the love for it. He wants to be a meteorologist. That's his thing. So.
Okay. Yeah, I just always think about it, like I said, because I like to have kids. I guess I'm just so fucking lazy and get around to it. But yeah, it's just, again, it's gotta be so cool, man. Like I played sports growing up, but I didn't have I was always a smaller guy. Like varsity football coach. I always had him as my gym teacher.
Right.
And I was friends with all the varsity guys, the quarterback, the running back, all the popular dudes. Like I grew up with them in my elementary school and shit. And they knew me. They knew I was the tall, skinny white guy that could beat anybody on a go route.
Right.
So my gym teacher would always see this, be like, "Yo," and he'd call me by my last name. He'd be like, "Come on, man, I need you on the team, right?" And I'm like, "Coach, one hit out there, dude, I'm dead." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cooked, man. But I did play a lot of basketball. Even like I worked later on in high school, so I didn't really play like varsity or anything. But we played against like our town team, who I played with for a while. Played against Lamar Odom.
Oh wow.
When he played, yeah. So my boy Barry, if anybody, I don't know, Doc's in chat. I see Doc. He might know Barry Baker, the touchdown maker, was like this guy was supposed to be like the guy. You know what I'm saying? Coming out back then. Had some legal issues that kind of derailed shit, but man, this guy schooled Lamar Odom, dude, back in the high school days. Schooled him. And just keep in mind that Lamar Odom had a pretty decent career in the NBA, you know? So, yeah, this guy was something special, man. He wound up going to Syracuse, playing football. Again, had some legal issues down south and wound up getting redshirted and then just kind of washed out. But such a talent, man. Such a talent, you know? I never had that lifestyle, but it had to be cool to do that, you know?
There's a lot of good talent out there that ends up getting washed out for reasons like that, whether it be the law or health reasons. People that ended up that were like super good in high school that you thought was going to be the next Jordan. I see it all the time. What's up, Bitcoin BM Dubs in the chat? We got Woody here about to make some burgers. Let's go. That sounds delicious. We had Zaxby's on the way home today. Has anyone here actually seen a ghost or something float inexplicably before? You didn't hear my ghost story, Dan K? What's up, Dan K? I saw a ghost with my own two eyes. And it was clear as day, and I never believed in ghosts before that, but I definitely 1000% saw a ghost. I mean, I can tell the story again if you want, make it real short. Basically, it was in college. We lived in this old historic house. It had a historic plaque on it. It was like a 4-story house, and I lived on the very top floor. And one night, and I was on drugs this night. I mean, you can use that as an excuse. I think it just made me more perceptive to that type of thing. But I went and laid down on my bed, and see-through ghost of an old lady came and walked into my room and sat on my bed, and I reached up to touch her and she disappeared. 1,000,000,000%. I know what I saw. I'll take that to my grave. I promise you, it was real. I'd give up every minute of my sports time to ensure I could watch every minute my kids play. No better feeling. Yeah, I definitely go to all my kids' events for sure. 100%.
You actually just gave me an idea. I guess I could have thought of it yesterday or the day before, because I was reading up on it a little bit. We could have done for paranormal. We could have done Scientology.
Ooh, I like Scientology.
Maybe we'll do that for next week, because I've been diving down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole, but I wound up down that rabbit hole, and I was like, this might actually be an interesting topic. But it was like 4 a.m, so I didn't text it to you. But
you know what else is another crazy religion? If you look into it, Mormonism, and we have Mormon senators and Mormon congressmen, and Mormonism is almost as crazy as Scientology. It's so easily disprovable. Like, they disproved it whenever he was inventing it, and people just, it's amazing how many people believe in Mormonism. I'm trying to figure out what Bruin 88's talking about. Pause, bro. I'm not even gonna read that out loud. Meteorologist is a great career. Absolutely. Splint says, my Clippers not looking good this season, but looking forward to see the new Intuit Dome. Are they getting a new stadium? I didn't know that. I like the Clippers, but yeah, you're right. They're probably not looking too good this. I think they got rid of Paul George. Could be wrong. Bruin 88 says, Mo, it's not that much to work to try and have kids. You do know about the birds and the bees. Yeah, it's not you know how that works, right, Mo?
I mean, yeah, but it's not the work of the act of, procreating. It's like everything that comes in before that. They want to be taken out. They want time. They want to be told they look beautiful. They want to be wined and dined and 69'd, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm a get in, get out, primetime, commercial champion type of guy. You know what I mean? I'm not that. Yeah, foreplay for me is like a good joke. You know what I mean? And then I'm out. Like,
there you go, ladies. If you're interested, Mo will wine and dine you and give you a good joke. Yeah, the one in your bedroom. Oh yeah, that's probably my kid. I want to see a ghost. Yeah, it was very cool. I promise you. I definitely saw it. And of course, I have that excuse that I was on MDMA at the time, and that's what everybody will tell you if I tell them the story. They're like, oh, you were just hallucinating. But nah, bro, it was for real. It was legit. What's up, D Ramos? Thanks for hanging out. We didn't have a paranormal topic this week, but we've got some sports stuff to talk about after we catch up with the chat, and of course politics as well. Mo, is it true you played with Lamar Odom in basketball? Mo didn't play, but his buddy played against
Well, the
Lamar.
guys I played with, yeah, and like I said, it was like a Long Island championship series, and they were there, I was there, so I mean, I was on the same court, you know what I'm saying, as a youngin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was too small again. I was too small to play, you know what I'm saying, at the varsity levels.
Same here. I played in college, what's it called, intramurals, which is, you know, anybody can play that. It was fun, but I wasn't like good enough to play in high school either. Not Sure is in the house. What's up, Not Sure? Thanks for hanging out with us. Danielle C makes a good point. Careful with that Scientology topic, because that church can cause some, I don't know if they still do it, but there used to be, like, if you said something about Scientology, they would come after you.
Oh, they still do. But the problem is they've been disproven so many times. It's like aliens frozen under the earth and shit. It's like, come on, man. Like, I mean, you know, it might correlate with some of the other things that we've spoken about on the show. So
true. Maybe
I could become a believer and go join Tom Cruise on the couch.
I mean, all religion, for real, is a little bit conspiratorial if you really get into it and dig into that rabbit hole. We get some good relationship advice for you in the chat. Dan K says, time is money, Mo. Don't let those girls lead you astray. And Bruin88 says, Mo, you have a girl already. Forget the wine and dine. Yeah, you already earned it.
She still wants to be wined and dined. She's probably listening right now, writing up an agenda of where I have to go. I have to go to fucking Home Depot and buy plants and all that shit. Who wants to get involved in that? You know what I mean? She's basically on the understanding now that she's just going to be okay with some weird asexual relationship, and then we just coexist. It's like
asexual. You know what I mean? No, thank you. All right, let's get into our sports topic, which
banging for 30 years, man. I'm over it.
Which is Tyreek Hill, and I saw a little clip of what happened with Tyreek Hill yesterday, but recently I think it looks like the body cam footage from the police officers have been released, and I've been seeing comments from both sides of the aisle. People on the left complaining about how the cops handled Tyreek Hill, and people on the right saying, I could find some of the comments here like this: turn off the car, roll down the window, keep your hands on the wheel, obey the officer's command. If you don't, they will assume you're about to attack them. So let's take a look at this body cam footage. I haven't watched it yet. Hopefully it doesn't crash me or anything. It shouldn't. Oh, I thought it crashed. Sorry. All right, here we go.
Oh boy, send me a nice apology text after we saw this video.
Look at that car.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Driving.
So he said, don't pull on my window, though. That's something that people have been commenting about. So as soon as the guy pops up there, he says, don't pull on my window. I don't necessarily know that that's a bad thing. I mean, I wouldn't want them pulling on my window if I had a car like that, too. So, all right, let's continue.
So did he say don't bang on my window?
What was that, Mo? Sorry.
Did he say don't bang on my window because he knocked on the window?
I thought he said don't pull on my window. He might have said, let me back it up.
I'm sure he said don't bang on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
I think you're right. He says don't knock on my window like that. But then again, I mean, why? He's supposed to knock on your window. That's what the police do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what? Why you have it up? Hey! Keep your window down!
When he said roll that window down, it sounded like Tyreek Hill said just bust it. But then again, I've seen all these other First Amendment YouTube channels and sovereign citizen YouTube channels, and they always leave their window up. I don't think it's against the law to leave your window up during a traffic stop. I'm not 100%
No, but you can't be surprised at the consequences when you're not following local fucking traffic stop routines. Like, this is absurd.
True. Alright, let's move it along a little.
Hey! What part of law don't you understand?
Alright, let's back that up.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! What part of law don't you understand? Hey, Drew! Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew! I'm getting arrested.
Go around and find out, Tyreek.
I'm getting arrested, Drew.
Fuck on the ground.
I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out.
You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take
Too
me to
late.
jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew, hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone.
Mo, you really think if this was a rich white dude, they would have done the same thing?
Rich white dude wouldn't have fucking played it off like that. First of all, if you know anything about Tyreek Hill, he's a fucking low-life piece of shit. He beat his fucking pregnant girlfriend at the time back in college. Wasn't even fucking allowed to go to the fucking draft. Wasn't invited. Okay? This guy's a real fucking scumbag. I got a lot of problems with this guy for a long, long time and never wanted him on the Jets when they were talking about getting him. This guy and his attitude, when the cops rolled up on him, he got exactly what he deserved. Leave the window down. Follow protocol. They would have let you fucking go with a ticket, and you would have wound up at your job. But he thinks he's Tyreek Hill. He's big shit. He ain't fucking nobody.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him. I did see some people, of course, they were people on the right that were talking trash about him. So I wasn't sure how much of it was true, but they were saying that he has like 10 kids by 6 different moms, and like he got in trouble for hitting a stripper or a lady or something at some point. So I don't know the backstory.
He beat his girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend. He beat his pregnant girlfriend.
I saw that, but then I saw
Anybody
somebody
like
reply and
is
say
a
that she
low-life
said that she
piece of
lied
shit.
about it.
No, he pleaded guilty to it.
All right. I don't know all the facts, so Mo probably does know. So
Fuck this guy.
maybe this guy was just an a-hole and he got what he deserved. Let me check with the chat, see what they're talking about. Denny OC says, look what they did to the Sons of Anarchy guy. I don't know about that. I think I saw something about that, but I don't remember the details. Big A says, by the way, Biscuit's new Discord got a lot of activity for anyone that wants to talk VeVe concerns. Yes, I joined that thanks to Big A, even though I'm not a big fan of Biscuits personally. However, there's a lot of OGs in there. It's the new FUD Discord. It's more FUDdy than my Discord, amazingly. We got to get our FUD up, y'all. Dane K says, why aren't we allowed to go to Antarctica? Ooh, that's where a lot of mystery still exists. Yeah, me and Dr. Strange talked about Antarctica once. There's some crazy stuff going on there. And to this day, there's still crazy stuff going on there. For some reason, Dane thinks you're talking like a 65-year-old. Big A says, my 84-year-old AC guy has a 4-year-old. How is that biologically possible? When I brought it, he literally said, yeah, I'm still effing. Good for him. That's what I like to see. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. Cop was power tripping hard. Tyreek was driving a $300,000 car. Does the cop really think he's a criminal? That's a good point. That car window probably does cost $5,000. I mean, Dane K's got a point there. This dude's driving a $300,000 car.
300K ain't even that much these days, man. He could have made one good crypto move and been some random fucking black dude on the street that just had a bad attitude. You know what I mean? Like,
that's right. It's a random black dude. But if it was an old white guy in a $300,000 car, I guarantee they're not dragging him out of the car.
I know the rich white guy wouldn't have fucking played it off that way.
But what if he did?
He might have sat there and said, I'm going to call my lawyer or whatever, and they would have been like, all right, come on, sir.
Have you not watched those sovereign citizen YouTubes, man? Those people do the same. I mean, they do even worse. They cuss the freaking cops out and everything, and they never get pulled out of their car or arrested. They usually end up getting let go, which is really crazy. It feels like there's a two-tier system here. I don't know. But like you said, maybe this Tyreek dude is just an asshole. But from what I saw, all he did was roll up his window, and I don't necessarily know that it's illegal to roll up your window during a traffic stop.
Okay, so taking your other people out of context, I don't know, the sovereign citizens, whatever. You're going to tell me you're raising your kid and you're trying to teach your kid how to go through life. Are you going to teach your kid to respond to a traffic stop the way that Tyreek did?
No, definitely not.
There you go.
Yeah, see, my son is biracial, so I haven't had like the cop talk with him. I have some black friends who says I should have the cop talk, but he's like, his mom's biracial, so he's like a quarter black, so you can't really tell. So I don't know if I even should bother with having that talk because I don't want to scare him. So I don't know. All right, let's.
No, but I'm a white dude, right? Okay, keep in mind, I'm a white dude. My dad was a white guy. My mom was a white girl, is a white lady. And even my dad told me growing up, he's like, listen, man, there is some realities in this world that you have to be ready for, okay? I had the hood right next to me, right? We used to go get weed in there and go hang out there. I had rap buddies. We used to do beats and hip-hop and stuff over there. But I knew that if I drove through there at the wrong time of the day, at the wrong time of the night, I was getting pulled over. It's just reverse, okay? And I did get pulled over numerous times. I got arrested with an ounce of weed because I knew I shouldn't have been going through there at the wrong time. But I've been pulled over numerous times over there. And it was always the same game. Roll down my window. Hello, officer. How can I help you? Hey, we noticed what are you doing over here? Hey, I do some beats. I do music. I'm a musician, yada, yada, yada. We had a quick conversation. I'm respectful. I have a normal conversation, and I go on my way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't defensive. I didn't say, oh, why? Because I'm white. You know what I mean? It's just, again, I'm not saying that either way is right or wrong, but there's ways that you can have a normal conversation and get pulled over with a normal traffic stop, and it's not like Tyreek Hill, man. It's just that That's a bad look. You
And
know,
it's
and I
not
told
always
my
a black
boy,
or white thing either, because I've noticed when I had a really crappy car that I got pulled over a lot, and then when I got a nice car, I never got pulled over.
yeah, and that's true too. Because
I
people
think
are like, oh well, he had a crappy car. Was he high on drugs? He can't afford a vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing too.
Yep.
But my boy hit me up and apologized because I told him right after this Tyreek show, I was like, do you really think that he was cool during that traffic stop, bro? I'm like, I'm guarantee you, we see this shit, it's gonna be, exactly what I told him. And then the video comes out today, and he's like, yeah, you're right, man, my bad. Like,
Woody says, I'm
Yeah.
usually on the left with policing, although I think there's some very good police. Tyreek was 100% wrong in my opinion. I used to watch a lot of, I thought it said adult videos, audit video. Okay. I guess either one of them's fine. Bruin88 says, so cops got a call by other cops that saw a car going over 100 miles per hour. They put their gear on, and then they saw him fly by. But I don't think he was going that fast. I think he was going 20 miles over the speed limit, if I'm not mistaken.
the
Bruin88
real
said,
conspiracy. They're all Jaguar fans. That's all.
I can see that. It
That's
is
all.
in Miami. Dan K says 0% chance those cops don't know it's Tyreek Hill. I'm on Trek's side, or Tyreek's side. They handcuffed the other football player too. Unreal. He did have an attitude, but they didn't even give him a chance to get out of the car. I agree with that. All right, now I'm back to where I can click on him. He said he wanted to keep it up so people didn't see who it was. That's why he wanted his window up. That's why he has so much tint on it. However, I think that tint is probably illegal. You're only allowed to have like 15%, but it's different by state. So Florida might be a little different, especially since it's more sunny there. Brood88 says after Drew showed up, he was all yes sir. But before that, yeah, he was like, quit knocking on my window. But is that really, I mean, he's not really talking back that much saying quit tapping on my window. Like he said, it's probably a $5,000 window. Dan K says he's a scumbag, but he wasn't that bad with the cops. Way too excessive by the cops. His money will be short-lived. I don't know. He's pretty good. I know quite a few
He's a
criminals
damn
with
good
nice
football
cars.
player. I mean, I'm not taking away from his God-given ability.
Oh yeah, he's fast. He's very fast. I know. I watched a video with him in it just the other day. It was I Show Speed was trying to race him. He went race I Show Speed, which was kind of suspect. I was like, you can't be a YouTuber, bro. Tyreek
I
Hill's
know Speed's pretty damn fast, if I'm not mistaken. Even
Yeah,
though
he-
that guy's a freaking weirdo.
he is
Set the
kind of
house on
weird.
fire every 4th of July. How do you get away with every 4th of July? You set off fireworks in the house, and you think a different result. The guy is not all there, but he's kind of comical, I guess, from a content perspective.
Yeah, we've been watching him for a while.
Did I lose you? Uh-oh.
Come
Oh.
on back.
Catgate, hello, we're good?
Hello. Yeah, it's my cat. Sorry, my cat almost reset my computer, but she did knock out my microphone. It's been one of those nights, bro. Shoo.
Catgate.
Catgate. All right, so let's go over a couple people's comments about Tyreek Hill. We read the Charlie Kirk one, who's somebody who's definitely on the right. Let's see. There was a couple other ones. Here's one from Keemstar. Wish this would go away. Says Tyreek Hill's fault. Anyone defending him is stupid, and the same thing is going to happen to you in this country. Cop gives you the most reasonable request ever. Keep the window down, and you don't want to comply. But then again, if keeping your window up is not against the law, it's your right, then I don't see what the problem is.
I don't know if that is. I mean, I was always, when I learned how to drive from my dad, from driving class, they were like, you get pulled over, you just have your stuff ready, keep your window down, you pay attention. Again, maybe that's not the law. I mean, I was just trained the wrong way.
We're going to find out if they face any charges. Do you think these police will face any charges?
No, I mean, the one guy was already put like on administrative leave or whatever, but they're trying to fight to get him back.
But he's got so much money.
Apparently
he
it's
probably
not
will
illegal.
sue.
Apparently it's not illegal, but it's considered bad practice because then you can't communicate with the police officer who, whatever, pulled you over. But I mean,
I can see
I
both
don't really
sides.
see that I don't really see that it's illegal.
Right. You can't go over there. You already messed up my mic. Go away, kitty. All right, we gotta get rid of this kitty cat. It's not a drop day. If it was a drop day, I'd have my cat on my lap for the old cat on the lap gate. But let's get into everybody's favorite topic. Let's get into some politics. If my screen will switch over. There it is. Let's go. Get rid of this. I don't know why that's up. Boom, shakalaka. All right. So definitely want to talk about some political stuff today. We've already seen a couple mentions of it in the chat. Last week we talked about how the Venezuelan gangs could have been taking over some apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado. And a week later, we know now that that was a completely fake story. It was actually the person who was running that apartment complex made up the story 2 weeks before that video even came out. And the video is real. Sure, there was a gang that broke into an apartment in a slum-type apartment building. So that happens from time to time in many different areas of the country. But to think that this one gang is taking over 3 apartment complexes and it just happens to be all apartment complexes that were owned by the exact same guy was kind of a red flag right there. So that was a completely fake story. And then we have the newest story that Haitians are eating cats, and it all stems from... And if I had time to make graphics for today's stream, I would have all these videos and stuff pulled up for you. But it comes from... And I need to fix my camera when I get a chance, so that my background's back. It comes from the original video of this lady who was arrested for eating a cat, but the lady is not Haitian at all, and she's not even an immigrant. She was born and raised in America. It has nothing to do with Haitians or immigrants. And then there's this other picture which I can show you, because I've got it saved here. Let's get rid of that and the logo right there. Yeah, this one right here. So this picture popped up on Reddit of this guy carrying a duck, and as you can see here from the Krasenstein post, the guy's not even Haitian either. He's not an immigrant. He's not Haitian. And most likely he was just picking up roadkill. So
Guy's name is Charles. He's just chilling, making his way home. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So, but now, I mean, what's really crazy is you got people like Elon Musk that is parroting this narrative here. He's talking about how this is a true story and everything. And he just tweeted a couple days ago that anybody caught promoting propaganda will have their account suspended. But is he not literally promoting propaganda by tweeting about this fake story? It's kind of wild to me.
Yeah, I don't like this narrative of hate at all. I mean, again, I told you last week, I said I wish Trump would just shut the hell up. I mean, obviously, if they're protecting Kamala and not letting her talk much, and then Trump just gets up there and runs his mouth, it's just doing more damage, you know? Same with JD Vance. Like, I don't know, man. It's a weird narrative. And again, I don't really know if I buy into the other narrative of just, you know, hopium and good vibes. I mean, that's a weird campaign too. But I mean, hopefully tonight we get some good information, maybe some policies and some other information that we need. Because right now I'm just like, oof. Can we get RFK back, RFK Jr. back in the race?
Kamala did release some policies on her website last night or the night before that. I haven't went over them, but I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about it in tonight's debate. Apparently, I was wondering why nobody was chatting. The chat just updated. We just got like 20 messages at the same time. I don't know what's up with my chat today, but D. Ramos says, let's go Jets. Not the same old Jets. They lost to the 49ers game. Well, they lost to the 49ers? I think the 49ers are actually decent now, right?
Yeah, they didn't have McCaffrey. It's a good Niners team, though, defensively. Robert Salah, our head coach, comes from the organization with Kyle Shanahan. They know our scheme inside and out. So if anybody's going to beat us soundly, it should be the Niners. And the fact that we walked out with no major injuries, we actually had some good drives. It was a good first game for us to lose. So
yeah, not too bad. Woody says, some said that Tyreek was going 100 miles per hour by the stadium. The cops were protecting the public. Come on, kitty cat, get away from the computer. You're going to reset it. We got Alejandro in the chat. What's up, Alejandro? Thanks for hanging out with us. Smurf Dabs is here. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, y'all, but we're trying to get through it. Drop the mic, Mo. Show respect. They knew it was Tyreek. He was going over 100 miles. Call came in. Love female adult cops. Cuff me, officer. Dang, K, that was random, but you did it wrong. Not sure. It says, can we talk about Omi? It seems that it stands still. We're going to talk about a little bit of VeVe stuff. We could talk about Omi. Apparently 2 billion Omi tokens were burned, but nobody exactly knows why. That was just like yesterday that happened. Bruin88 says there are 20-minute videos out there. Tyreek was using every word in the dictionary. Oh, I haven't seen that whole entire video. But, I mean, we saw the very beginning. That's kind of what's most important. Once you get pulled out of your car and thrown to the ground, you're going to use, I mean, I'm going to use a lot of words. If they pull me out of my car and throw me to the ground, I mean, that's kind of starting stuff. But it depends on how you look at it. Tyreek is Antonio Brown Jr. Get more bees with sugar than salt. Okay. Is that how it works? Catch more bees with sugar than salt? I don't know if that's the exact saying. My mom used to say something like that. Then Kay says, if he goes speeding and the call came in, then the cops are a little more justified, but I didn't hear that part. Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing that part too, but I haven't looked really deep into it. I think if the cop can't see in, it's a legal tint, it's a safety concern, and then he should leave his windows down. Most states have a law of what % tint you can have. I know we do here in Indiana.
Oh, we do too.
Yeah, and we have a place where you can go after hours and get your windows tinted for higher than the legal limit, and they'll hook you up. You gotta pay a little extra. Let's see. Bitcoin BMW says if the cops get fired, he will just go to work in the next county over. That happens all the time. Cops get fired for doing something bad. They just go to work in a different county. D. Ramos says Trump's gonna crush Harris tonight. Psh, yeah, right. We'll see about that.
I don't even know if I believe that. I mean, it really just depends. Like I said, if it becomes into some weird, masochist bullying fucking phase from Trump like he's on lately, it's just going to be a weird look. People aren't going to want to vote for that shit.
Yeah, he's really negative. He's definitely going to be talking trash. He's going to be lying a lot, and Joe Biden didn't call out his lies during the last debate, which is another reason why he did so poorly. However, I think Kamala, her whole game plan is to go over these lies that he tells and call them out as soon as he tells them, like stuff like Democrats want abortion to happen after birth. Like, that's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. And when he said it during the last debate,
an extreme case. I mean, again, the case does exist out there. It was like Virginia or something, like one of those states. But it's like, the case does exist, but does it happen? No, because I don't think people are morally that fucked up. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess by the law, in theory, it could. If they really wanted to.
I think it was a Virginia governor who suggested it, but I don't know if it's part of the law. However, I think one of the things that is part of the law is that if you have a baby and it's going to definitely die within a week, like it's not going to live longer than a week and it's suffering, then maybe you can kill it that way. I think kill is the wrong word to use there, but I don't know all the technicalities behind it. But it's not like you could just post-birth abortion at a whim. It's nothing like that. Dan K says, what politicians say and what they do are usually not the same. That's 1,000% true. Even with Kamala, all the stuff that she suggests or that she says she's proposing to do if she's elected, 90%, 75% of it she will never do. I mean, Joe Biden said he was going to raise the tax rates for corporations to like 38%. He's raised it 0%. It's still at 22%. Denke says Harris.
There's a good reason though why he didn't, and it's a good thing he doesn't. If you raise corporate tax, you could drive a lot of businesses out of the United States, which we don't want. Especially if we don't have sanctions and tariffs and stuff like that in place, we definitely don't want to drive businesses out of the United States. So you can understand why they wouldn't really jack those taxes up, even though they keep wanting to say tax the rich. I don't really think that's the way to tax the rich. I think you need to tax more assholes who just make free money and be like, you don't really need to have that much money.
I mean, you don't even need to tax them. You need to cut off all the corporate subsidies that you get from the government. Like, people talk about food stamps and my money's going towards welfare and all this. Like, 10 times the amount of money in your taxes is going to corporate subsidies to these corporations that are already super rich, that are recording record profits. 10 times than what's going towards stuff like Social Security or stuff like welfare and food stamps. Jay says, tonight we'll hear all of Kamala's lies. How can you say Kamala lies when the other person is Donald Trump, who's lied? All he does is lie. Not sure. It says 3 billion. It was 3 billion, not 2 billion. 3 billion owe me burned. I still don't understand why that was burned or who burned it. Big A says, problem for Super Trump people is they are setting the bar so low for Kamala that just not laughing will give her the win. I don't understand why laughing is such a bad thing. I don't get that part. DK says, Trump
because it's like a fake, it's just a weird fake laugh.
That's just how she laughs. Like... People have funny laughs.
Yes.
DK says, Trump would get so many more votes if he just didn't talk. Yeah. Pokey says, what car do I drive? It's not that nice. It's Nissan Pathfinder. It's a little bit older now. It was nice when I got it. What's up, greedy ones in the chat? Let's go. Yeah, I always drive an SUV, which is not a very liberal thing of me to do, but I don't. And when I drive a car nowadays, I feel like I'm like on the road. I'm so low. I have to have ever since I had my Ford Explorer, I have to have a SUV. Jay says, who believes Kamala? What has she done as a VP? What has any vice president ever done? Like, they don't have a job. They don't do anything. They're the vice president. They're there in case the president dies to take over, but usually they don't do anything. I mean, what did Mike Pence do? Nothing. They're there to break the ties in the Senate and to take over if the president
Yeah, I was
guys.
about to say that there was a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you, D. Ramos. We got Thanu in the chat. Let's go. What's up, Thanu? Jay Hirsch says Kamalama Ding Dong has a new Southern accent. I do hate when they switch up those accents. Hillary Clinton used to do that all the time. Woody says infant mortality rose 8% in Texas after state abortion ban. Well, that makes sense because whenever you ban abortions, it doesn't stop the amount of abortions. It just stops the amount of legal abortions because they'll just go and have it illegally anyway. And then they have to resort to not safe ways of doing it, like the old coat hanger thing, which I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff. However, I just know that it still happens even whenever it's outlawed. Or if they have to like drive to a whole nother state, then they got to spend all this money. They already couldn't afford to raise a kid. It's just wild to me. But another thing before we move on to the next topic when it comes to politics, which is kind of tied into all this misinformation, is that it came out and it's not one of the fake stories that people on the right bring up, an actual true vetted story with indictments that Russia has been paying all these influencers like Tim Pool. I think that dude's name is Benny Johnson or something, this Benny guy who's always on Twitter and has his own YouTube channel, Dave Rubin. A lot of these right-wing influencers have been
Lauren Southern.
Yeah, Lauren Southern were getting paid millions of dollars, like $400,000 a month or something like that, $400,000 per video, millions of dollars to spit out Russian propaganda. So what's crazy to me is that Elon Musk just said that if you are caught perpetrating some propaganda, that you would be removed or suspended from Twitter. However, he never suspended any of those people. I mean, is that not exactly what they got caught doing? And what do you think, Mo, about the whole Russians paying influencers to spew their propaganda? And how prevalent do you think it is? Do you think there's other people that haven't been caught yet that are out there spewing propaganda on Twitter and other social media websites?
Shocked if there wasn't. But here, let's just clarify one thing. They were not paid directly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were paid through the company, which was run by Lauren Chen and her husband.
Right.
So, you know, because I'm very familiar with Lauren Southern and Rubin. Lauren Southern more in particular, like on a personal level. Chatted with a bunch of them. A lot of podcasts and debates I watched with her and Destiny and a bunch of crazy right-wingers. You know, they were not paid directly. It's not like they were like in their bank account or in their PayPal. I mean, they worked for a company that was like maybe pushing pieces their way, but it wasn't like, oh, hey, here's the agenda today, like put out the propaganda. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, especially like Lauren Southern in particular, she had some shit with like some immigration boats. They were out like firing flares and shit at them, trying to take down the boats and stuff and sink them. And she has a pretty crazy past, you know, and people like that, they're going to make that type of content anyway. You know, so it's kind of like they just signed on with the network. I forgot the name of the network, but well, the corporation that was making the videos and stuff, and they were getting paid through them.
Tenet.
So it's not. What was it? Tenet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like So it's not like they were like, oh, you know, Russian diplomats or whoever is in their PayPal's or Cash Apps, like sending them money. I mean,
I don't know, man. If you look into all the information they gave, in one of the cases, they were talking in DMs, and they were like, we should make the Russian pay for this, blah, 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 blah. So they knew that there was some tie to Russia there. And if you're getting $400,000 per video, why would you not want to know who's giving you that money? I mean, how is that not a red flag? And then you look at some of the stuff that Tim Pool was putting out at the time, and he was saying that Ukraine is like the worst country in the world, and Ukraine is the enemy of America. This is literally our ally going up against our enemy. So that's pretty suspect. Then you look at whenever
they think that way anyway.
Was he like that before?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are
Ukraine?
all on like podcasts and shows and all the fucking YouTube all day. It's like it's all they do is sit around and have fucking random ass debates.
I would like to know.
Our chats make sense. Theirs is some fucking crazy shit, man.
I would like to know.
They truly believe in this stuff. It's wild.
I want to know when the payment started, and then I want to go back and see what kind of stuff he was saying before he started getting paid. But another interesting fact is, if you looked at Tim Pool and Benny Johnson, I don't know if Benny Johnson's his last name. I think it's Benny Johnson. If you go back and look at their tweets whenever the news came out, both of them said that it was a leak from the DOJ. So why would they both use the same terminology unless they're in a group chat together? And it's probably a group chat of all these people that are getting paid to spew this Russian propaganda. And then you look at Elon Musk, who is echoing it, and you find out that the two people who helped him buy Twitter, the people, I forget the exact word, but they helped to helped him buy Twitter, and they're both Russian. So he has a lot of ties to Russia too. So I mean, I feel like this is a whole like a Russian takeover. Like they're trying to hurt this country. They're trying to. They knowingly helped NRA. They spent a lot of money with the NRA, and they are purposely trying to make guns more prevalent so that people are getting shot more often, so that we're having more school shootings, so that I can't think of the word, but it makes us less stable as a country. I don't know. I feel like it's a direct attack by Russia onto America.
Well, yeah, because if you can't listen, you can't get anywhere near us. I mean, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna shoot down missiles. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting near us. So the best way to take us down is from the inside out.
Exactly. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think Trump's part of it too. Trump has a lot of ties to Russia. What's his younger Eric Trump once said that most of the money that Trump gets is from Russia. And if you look at him during his administration, he met with Putin like many times, and every time he met with Putin, it had to be not recorded, and you couldn't even have other people in the room with him at the time. So like, what were they talking about that it was so special that you couldn't have anybody else there to know what they were saying? So, I don't know. Let me catch up with the chat before it gets away from me. Bitcoin BMW says, will Biden pardon Hunter? I saw where I think Biden announced he will not pardon Hunter. It was Twitter, so I don't know if you can believe everything you see on Twitter, but I saw something about that today. Looking at details of the case, doesn't seem like the influencers would have completely known. I feel like they knew, but you can't prove it. Bill Gates, for example, it doesn't work when comments get sucked on chat. I'm not sure what you mean there. What other countries pay for influence during the election? That's a good question, too. I wonder if there's other countries. But, I mean, you can't have foreign influence like that. But then again, you got people like Ian Miles Chung. I think I have a tweet about him on here, who is always in the American politics. He actually works for RT. He lives in Myanmar, but he works for RT, which is a Russian propaganda channel. Sucked is not on filter. Oh yeah, some words get filtered and some don't. Dave Rubin is the other big one. Yeah, Dave Rubin, which is crazy because he used to work for TYT, the Young Turks, and then right after he left TYT, he started up his own YouTube channel, and like less than a year later, he had this huge mansion. Where'd that money come from? It didn't come from YouTube. Greedy One seems like Twitter makes most of its money from people saying crazy stuff, so I don't think he'll ban them. But then again, that's like the whole internet now. So it's especially Twitter, though. Twitter is nothing but craziness, I'm telling you. Russia has been messing with us for decades. That's true. But, I mean, this is a little more direct. I don't know. It almost feels like an act of war. I mean, I wouldn't say we should go to war over it, but we need to be shutting it down.
I think it feels more direct because it's an online presence. You know what I mean? And most of us are tied to the fucking hip at our cell phones and technology. Of course, it feels more direct, but again, these things, yeah, it's definitely been happening for fucking decades upon decades at this point.
Yeah, they even proved that Russian trolls were being used during the last election to help to try to get Trump elected. So why do they want Trump elected so badly?
Well, not according to the interview with Putin.
Bro,
did we talk about that last week?
Mo, come on now. Whenever he said that, he said it as a joke, and everybody in the crowd started laughing, and even the lady that was interviewing him started laughing. So what Mo's talking about is Putin did.
But it was tongue in cheek. I'm just saying. But did you see the interview he had? Like it's
right. But listen,
it's like what the fuck?
What Mo's talking about is an interview Putin gave, and during the interview, it was just like last week, a few days ago. He says, "I endorse Kamala Harris for president," and everybody started laughing. So how is it that all these Russian people know that it's a joke for him to say that? How do they know that he's so tied in with Trump? Like, that just seems messed up to me.
I mean, I just think it's wild if he thinks Trump's a better option. I mean, but if he thinks he can sway any public opinion, I mean, having Kamala would make it easier, you know, for them to continue doing what they're doing. Because if Trump comes in, I mean, there ain't gonna be money going anywhere. There's gonna be fucking sanctions fucking thrown back down and you name it. Like, it ain't, you know, it's gonna be a roadblock for them. So
I think Trump is,
whether he likes Trump is different, but Trump, so he's gonna keep his enemies close. Friends close, enemies closer.
Trump just said last week that he will remove the sanctions on Russia if he gets elected because it's better for our economy, which again, it just seems like him and Putin are very close, tied together. And I feel like there's a lot of backroom deals being made between those two. Stan says, is there a debate watch party on this channel? Let's go. Nah, can't do that tonight. I probably won't even stay up and watch the whole debate. Man, I got to go to bed early, y'all. It starts at 9. I'll probably watch highlights tomorrow. Greedy One says, I think it's more apparent now they put pieces in place and now they're making moves. I know, and it's not good. They're like, I won't say they're attacking us, but in a way, they're kind of attacking us. And you got Elon Musk, who's tied in, who has some links to Russia, but he is like echoing all this stuff. He's the one that's promoting it. That's why you see all this stuff about people from Venezuela taking over apartment complexes, and now people from Haiti eating people's cats and stuff. This stuff wouldn't be as prevalent in mainstream right now if it wasn't for Elon Musk promoting it on Twitter. And he does that on purpose. He's putting narratives out there and echoing them, making them louder than the other narratives that maybe the people on the left would like to hear. And is it not election interference? It seems like election interference to me. Dan K says backdoor deals are in Ukraine, not Russia. What backdoor deals are in Ukraine? I don't know what you mean. I've heard some fake news about backdoor deals in Ukraine. I don't know. It's complicated. If you listen to the narrative outside of America, then you'd understand why America and Ukraine are in the wrong. How are they in the wrong? Ukraine's the one that's being invaded. Please tell me more, Dane K. I don't see how that's a thing. I know that Trump got a hold of Zelensky in Ukraine when Trump was in office, and withheld some type of aid and said that he's not giving you the aid unless you find some dirt. You dig up some dirt on Joe Biden. And that's when they came up with the Burisma stuff about Hunter. So, that's some backdoor deals right there. I'm not saying Democrats don't do shady stuff too, but when it comes to Ukraine, I don't see how Ukraine is in the wrong. I feel like Russia's pretty clearly in the wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let me fix my camera real quick. It's getting on my nerves. Takes 2 seconds. 1 second. Hold on. Boom shakalaka. Did it work? Oh, I got rid of my frame. Close enough.
Nope. Yeah, I'm delayed.
It might be delayed. I'm afraid I'll crash it if I do too much here. All right. If anybody else wants to chime in there, let me see if I can do this and catch up the chat, and just in case it's not caught up. Yeah, it looks like we're caught up on the chat. Mo, any final thoughts on my feelings about Russia using Trump and Elon Musk together? Do you think I'm crazy to say that, or do you think Elon and Trump have some connections to Russia?
I don't think you're absolutely crazy, but I still do think Trump's a better option, long-term play for the economy, for everything. I still think it's a better option, but I don't think you're absolutely wrong. But I think if we dig deep enough into any of this shit, man, behind the scenes, there's a lot of hands in a lot of places. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
No, you're right, and that has a lot to do with Kamala too, because there's a reason why they did it the way they did and made Kamala the nominee and didn't have another type of primary or anything like that, because they know that Kamala is going to toe the line. I think Mark Cuban was just on Fox Business, maybe it was, and he was talking about all the administrations from Obama to Biden to Trump. None of them were as pro-business as Kamala's been telling him and people in his position that she's going to be when she gets into office. So it's all about that status quo so that the rich can keep getting rich. So, you're not wrong about that at all. But at least it's keeping it into America, and it's not Russia coming in and doing what they want to do. America's in the wrong, and Ukraine gets to bear the brunt of it. What did America do exactly that's in the wrong? I'm still not seeing what you're talking about, Dan K. Ukraine is America's ally. Russia is not America's ally. America's sending weapons and, I guess, money and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. So what's wrong with that? Whoever wins is going to have a real tough 4 years with this recession incoming, with a civil war incoming. We got Punch Pablo in here. Let's go. Says I'm the Democrat version of Alex Jones. But I can back up everything I say with facts, unlike Alex Jones, who just makes up stuff out of thin air. What's up with Tim Walt's family endorsements of Trump? How many people in Trump's family has endorsed, well, I wouldn't say his family, because his family is all about it. They need that. They want to be.
Yeah, I don't know if any Trump family is supporting but
his vice president though, that's pretty noteworthy right there. Trump's old vice president says he would not vote for Trump. Dick Cheney says that he's going to vote for Kamala. I don't know if that's an endorsement that Kamala necessarily wants, but it's pretty wild that Dick Cheney won't even vote for Trump.
What a Dick Cheney.
What a Dick Cheney. I thought he died, man. That must be a Mandela effect. I thought he had a heart attack and passed away. I swear I did. Like years
I
ago.
just read I think everybody's dead except us in chat. I don't even know what
That's
the hell's
possible.
going on anymore.
All right, let's move on to our gaming
Simulation.
topic. If anybody, I turned all this stuff off before going live, but then when I crashed, it came back on. All right, we got it pulled back up here. For our gaming topic, there's a couple different things we're going to talk about today. I don't have any videos or screenshots for you, but I do have a link down in the description for one of the games we're going to talk about. But before we do, there's an update on what's going on with Photo Finish Live. Can you tell us about it, Mo?
Yeah, dude. So there's the big Solana conference coming up. The hell's it called? Solana Play or something like that? Breakpoint. Sorry, Breakpoint. And Photo Finish already planned on being there, or Ian and the Third Time Studio guys. But now they just unveiled some like kiosk, interactive thing that people could be able to go up, pick winners, which right now is just kind of like a one-off, trial. But I think the idea, or I know the idea, according to this, is to get them. You can put them in a bar, you can put them in a restaurant, in a casino, and we already have casino deals. You know what I'm saying? With Twin Spires, with Churchill Downs. Like, there's a lot of places they could already put them, where people could just come up, swipe whatever money they have in that, voucher for that place, and just put a bet on a photo finish horse. Which then, money from the betting pools portion of it goes back to the players who are racing. So that would provide more value to the racing economy, which would provide more value to Crown Token, which they all synergize back to the horse prices. You know what I mean? So this is actually massive.
Even provides a little bit extra money for the people that staked their crown into some of those racetracks. And I think Churchill Downs would be the perfect place to put one of these kiosks.
Yeah, I mean Churchill Downs, they have the casino. Is it on site, or is it or just a off betting, like an OTB type deal?
They have an OTB type deal. I've done it before when I was at Churchill Downs. Like if you're in between races there at the track, you can go and bet on races in Florida, bet on races in Australia and stuff. And if you had a kiosk there with the off-track betting for this type of PFL, people would definitely at least try it at least once. Everybody's going to try it at least once, especially if they just won a bunch of money and they're just blowing it. That's kind of what people do when it comes to that OTB betting.
Well, people already do it when it comes to, I don't want to say fake horses, because PFL horses are not fake, but when it comes to like virtual racing. So if you ever gone to a casino, they have these virtual horse racing games, but the horses you're betting on are just randomly made up on the spot.
Oh yeah, I've seen those before.
Like they're created, they're randomly named, and then they're never raced again. They're destroyed at the end of that, and then a whole new batch of races is created. But you could be in a casino, maybe you're drunk, you're lit, you're winning a bunch of money. You walk past this Photo Finish Live and you see it and it looks so realistic. And you're like, what the hell is this? I've never seen this before. And it's like, claim this horse now, like scan your QR code. And all you gotta do is like, oh, cool. Now I got the app on my phone. Bing, 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 bing. Link that. All right, boom. You could like make an account and claim a horse in like 5 minutes.
That's awesome. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are the easy possibilities now that are coming. And what I like about it the most is that, you talk to Ian too. I mean, this guy knows his shit, bro. Like, he's not an idiot. He's not trying to reinvent the wheel for something that already works in the real world when it comes to like wagering and, liquidity pools, right? He's not trying to reinvent how it's done. We just had to cut corners in the meantime because we didn't have the people that were funding the pools and the pick threes and the big bets. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now they got market makers coming. They got people coming in. Don't forget, Coinbase is a official partner, so putting Crown on Coinbase is probably a no-brainer at this point, because they are, again, a backer and a partner of the game.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like,
Nice.
I say it all the time now about PFL. It's the only thing I've ever played, I've ever done, that makes dollars and cents. And I mean cents as in common sense.
Right. And it's probably the best looking Web3 game I've ever seen. I mean, it's the type of game that you could see with those graphics to be on console or something. If anybody would ever make a horse racing game on console, which I've been saying they need to do for the longest time, this is the type of game that actually could be on console because it's so well made. And Ian, who Mo was talking about, is the CEO and the founder, and he's been on this channel before. He knows what he's talking about. He used to work for EA Sports. He helped make Madden and NASCAR, I think. So
he worked on Madden, but he was the inventor. It was his idea of the hit stick which
Oh,
is
really?
the most revolution. Yeah, it was his. That was his. That was not a theory in anybody's mind at EA. I've touched base with him numerous times on this on interviews. He is the idea man behind the hit stick as to why it did what it did, which then now translates to every other sports game that now uses the right analog stick in their game. So you can thank him and the innovative brain as to why that is. So,
Yeah, me and my kid were just playing Madden last night, and I was using the hit stick. I love the hit stick.
Yeah.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick before we talk about the next game. Denny says he played some of the Black Ops 6. I saw that in the store. I haven't checked it out
Yeah.
yet, but apparently it has something called Omni Movement. I haven't heard anything about Omni Movement. I wonder how that works. I don't know what it is, but just wait until they make a Black Ops in VR, y'all. I'm telling you, VR is the future. Pokey says, I love casino is cool. Poker tonight? Probably not, man. As soon as I get done with this, I got to do some dishes and cook dinner and probably watch a little bit of TV. Mo, I want to tell you I'm a little upset about Cobra Kai. Nobody told me that this series isn't over. I got to the very last season, the last episode, and they're like, continues on November 5th or November 15th or
Yep.
something. Come on, man. I thought it was over. I was going to get a conclusion here, but no, apparently
nope,
not.
you gotta wait, and then it's going back to the big screen for a movie again. So
And
I don't
Jackie
know what
Chan's
kind
in
of
the
conclusion
movie.
we're gonna get.
Jackie Chan's in the new Karate Kid movie.
No, not the one that they already made.
No, I'm saying Jackie Chan is in the Karate Kid movie that they haven't released yet.
Wait, seriously? In the continuation? Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
I don't know what the storyline's gonna be. I'm wondering if it's gonna have the kids like from Cobra Kai in it, but it did say Jackie Chan, so I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah, I saw I don't even know what his name is, but the guy who is the Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso, doing an interview, and he said that yeah, Jackie Chan's in the new movie.
Yeah, so they have to be doing some sort of crossover then from the new, because he was the sensei, Mr. Miyagi type in the new Karate Kid, wasn't he? Yeah.
Jackie Chan was in the new Karate Kid.
Didn't he play the? Yeah,
don't-
didn't he play the? Hold on a second.
I don't think he's in Cobra Kai. If that's
No, I
what
know
you're
he's not in Cobra Kai.
Oh.
I'm saying, but the Karate Kid
talking-
movie
Oh
with Jaden
yeah,
Smith.
you might be right. See, I
He
never watched
played
that
the
one.
Mr. Miyagi sensei. You know, the new Mr. Miyagi guy.
With Jaden Smith in it.
yeah,
that-
am I tripping on that?
No, I think you might be right with the one
No,
with
it is
Jaden
him.
Smith because I
Yeah, it
never
is
saw
him.
that one.
So yeah, so there has to be some sort of crossover there. Which, hey, you know what? They're so good at the story writing over there. I'm sure they're gonna make a way to blend him right in with maybe the Cobra Kai kids and make it awesome, dude. Because that show, dude, everything from the acting to the soundtrack, the nostalgia, the fight scenes. I mean, dude, everything on that show was just so well done. God, I can't. Oof. I get
know.
goosebumps, man.
I'm excited to see the second half of season 6, and apparently it's the finale. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But what's that other Web3 game that you told me about? I've got it linked in the description, but I forget what it was called.
So the game is Sparkball.
Yeah.
It's very, very early. I haven't been able to get in. I've just been watching a bunch of gameplay. A bunch of streamers have been playing it on YouTube and Twitch. It's basically, it's like a soccer or Rocket League type game, but a MOBA. Have you ever played like a MOBA where you got to push the lanes and try to like have your minions push with you and take over the, take over like the center headquarter to spawn like new items or get money, then upgrade your character. That's pretty much what this is. It's like a top-down sports MOBA hybrid. But, I love sports games. I love MOBA games. So I figured I'll check it out when it winds up coming out. I think you can join Discord and try to suck off some people to get in. I don't know.
The nice thing about sports games is that they have a lot of playability or replayability. So, like if you're playing a side scroller or some type of game that has a story, it gets old. Once you've done it once, it's over. But when you're playing a sports game, it's a different experience every time, depending on who you're playing against. That's why I like sports games on console more than any other type of game.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with sports games is that you typically have to overpay every freaking year for nothing more than the roster update. And then if you're trying to make content with it, you have to do Ultimate Team, and then you got to buy the packs. And next thing you know, you're like, shit, I'm $5,000 in the hole playing Madden.
Right.
Like I don't go down that road, but I work for people that doing graphics and stuff. And like, I mean, it's tax write-offs for most of it, but these guys spend a lot of money on sports games, bro, only to do it again next year. And just imagine if they were NFTs, you could just sell them as the year goes on and put money back in your account. And then when the next Madden comes out, you're like, shit, I don't mind spending more money again because I just sold off what I had last year. You know what I mean? It's like a nice cycle, but
Yeah, my kid wants me to
hopefully we
buy
get
the
to
new
that point.
2K, and I'm like, what's what's the difference? Like, what's the point of buying the new 2K whenever we have the old 2K? You gotta pay $70 and it's the exact same game with a few more players. I can download those players. I don't get it.
Yeah, but then if you play online, you know what I'm saying? Like the population for the old game will go down.
Very true.
They'll always put like some new, I would polish a turd, especially on NBA 2K. I loved 2K back in the day. I'm a huge basketball fan, playing the game. And the thing about 2K to me is that, man, like, once the next generation came out, it was just all down to, like, spamming right analog dribble moves. And it's just like, you know what? That shit's annoying. Like, take me back to the old school. Like, if I go to do a steal back in the old NBA games and your ball's in front of me, I'm stealing that ball. I like that little cat and mouse game. Now it's just like spam, 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 spam. I did hear it got better on this one from buddies of mine who keep telling me, oh, you should probably look into picking it up. But they've told me that before, and I'm like, I play for an hour, go to the park, and I'm like, this shit sucks. I just fucking turn it off.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being too much different than the last one, but my kid says that he hears it's a lot better too. I'd have to see it for myself. Brune88 says, sorry, was busy. Tenant Corporation and Chin and her husband did all the corrupt things. Others were innocent. They don't get that much money, you said? I think it was like $400,000 per episode or $400,000 a month. I saw that figure for sure, but maybe I'm wrong about that. However, I'm not convinced that they didn't know where the money was coming from, but I could be wrong.
But here's the thing, because Bruin, again, all signs point to what Bruin said is right, and I kind of lean that way too, just because of knowing at least one of them, kind of like, not personally, but knowing a little deeper than just watching them online. If all those people, and those people claim to be very, very smart, right? If those people are as smart as they claim to be, they should have known. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the other way I look at it too, because they all claim to be, pretty hot shit when it comes to like, oh, I got this and da 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 da. As someone who dies on a lot of hills, you got to bring receipts, Right. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm sure more will come out. More people will get, thrown out and.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot more people that are. There's probably more than just the Tenant Corporation. There's probably other similar corporations that are paying other influencers that are also being funded by Russia. But I feel like if you're one of those influencers and you're getting these talking points, and the talking points clearly are meant to destabilize the country you live in, you should probably be questioning that. I don't know. It just seems what. But you're like you said, they say that kind of stuff anyway. Like. Tim Pool's always talking about civil war. Is he saying that because Russia wants him to, or he really wants a civil war? I don't know. Daniel C says, I have an EA sub, so we wait until they're free. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I said, Lauren Southern video, and this isn't like a rumor. It's not like, oh, I heard this. But like she live streamed or recorded herself out. I think it was like Canada or something, like shooting flares at like immigrant boats, trying to sink them and shit. Like. You know what I mean? Like, these people aren't all right. Like, they're fucking crazy, man.
And these influencers knew that she was involved, and she was the one funneling them the money. So they should question, like, this lady. Look at her; she's crazy. Why are we taking the talking points that she's given us if she's a crazy person? But then again, they probably would be the type of people to shoot at immigrant boats too. So,
well, because she has a lot of that. Extreme right wing, like she did a big piece on like the white replacement theory stuff,
right?
You know what I mean?
So
which again has a lot to do with immigration stuff.
Yep.
But like she was like just hell bent, man, on like every debate, every podcast, right? Like just really diving into it. And again, like you can connect the dots on a lot of things, sure, the same way that Alex Jones does, but it doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes it's just a happy convenience, But like she was hell-bent, dude, on like this whole white replacement theory stuff, and I mean she's very, very extreme. So like you said, having these people in your back pocket already, and then just icing on the cake with the Russian propaganda stuff. I mean they're gonna eat it right up.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
It's true, and yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic, y'all. We're gonna talk crypto a little bit. There it is. We're going to talk about VeVe probably like we usually do. But the first thing I wanted to talk about on crypto is the Apex promotion going on right now. I tweeted about it. I should probably pin it to the top. I'm pulling it up right now. I know you guys can't see it. Okay, so there's a giveaway going on by Apex, which is a decentralized exchange that I've partnered with. You can earn 22% annual APY on deposits in MNT tokens by adding funds. So basically all you got to do is add funds, create an Apex account, an Omni account, add funds from August 28th to September 18th. So you got till September 18th. And all the new users receive a free welcome box. And these welcome boxes are kind of like blind boxes. They have different prizes in them. And some of the prizes are Apple Vision Pro, Bitcoin sneakers, and at least one person is going to win a Lamborghini. So you guys might want to check that out.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pin that to the top of my Twitter profile. If you guys want to check it out, get into the Apex giveaway. I know Super Duper Hank has already joined and deposited like $100. I don't know what the minimum deposit is. I think maybe $10, but it will help support the channel, and it will also give you a chance to win one of those pretty cool prizes. See what he says.
Yeah, check that. I'm gonna check that shit out too. That's a link that is affiliated to you.
Yep, that's my affiliate link right there. And I think it just takes you to the app to download it. So hopefully from there, everything gets added to my affiliate page, which it has in the past. We've done giveaways in the past, and it all added, it all went to where it was supposed to go. What he says, Tim Pool should have to donate Russian money to Ukraine. Yeah, he gets to keep all that money. That's kind of messed up. I mean, that's literally a foreign asset there. And
You know, I know we're gonna move on to the crypto part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of ties into gaming, and maybe it's more of a quick poll to you in chat, where it comes to the law versus morals. All right. So remember we talked about Doc Disrespect,
yeah.
where he got deplatformed and demonetized and all this crap, right?
Yep.
So when he got kicked off Twitch, they were like, "Oh, he was, sexting with a minor," right? Now, more evidence has come out, because I even said it when we talked about it, and I know chat had some comments on it too. Like, I would never ever support anybody like that, right? Like, one of his sayings was like, "We're on tippy top of the mountain, but we're only halfway up." You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a good mindset, you know what I'm saying? But like, man, am I gonna take that from a pedophile? You know what I'm saying? And as more evidence came out, we now come to learn that he was just gaslighting the guy that originally broke the NDA from the lawsuit. Because once one party breaks sides, the other party can break the side without any repercussions, right? So when that asshole that used to work at Twitch blew it up, or tried to blow it up on Doc was able to say whatever he wanted. So he basically gaslit and basically just debated everybody to come out of the woodworks that used to work at Twitch, which is exactly what they did. And now he's setting them up for like a crazy big defamation lawsuit. But anyway, new evidence came out that in the court of law with Twitch, they found that there was no quote unquote legal definition of sexting that took place. Nothing. The person that he had the messages with was not a minor. So this was all verified and done in the court of law with Twitch in there. Was called there's something that goes on. It's arbitration.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever the hell took place, but some people were questioning it because of what Doc came out on Twitter and said. So my question to you, Walt, is on a moral standpoint, you're an adult, because you're a streamer too, and I wonder if some of us are put in this position where a lot of people hit me up on Twitter DMs, Discord DMs, even WhatsApp, right? And they just have chats about PFL or just random shit sometimes, graphics, design, right? Streaming.
Right.
I don't age verify these people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like my question to you is like, if someone said, "Oh, well the dude got labeled a pedophile," but now it comes to the light that, the person was of age, there was no sexting taking place. It's just more of a moral standpoint that, like his wife would be pissed off about it, no? Like, he didn't do anything wrong, but yet people are still just burying this fucking guy like he's a pedophile, man. And I don't know. I stand on the side with him on this one because he was exonerated, in my opinion. But you could say morally, maybe he was in the realm. I'm curious your take, maybe chat. And Doc did come back with massive streams, massive donations, and he will be monetized again because the truth will set you free. What do you think, Vault? You still look at someone like that and be like, he's still like a scumbag or a piece of shit?
Shout out to Mr. V's in the chat. Good to see you in the chat, Mr. V. I've actually watched a couple of videos about the Dr. Disrespect. I think just yesterday, maybe the day before. And a lot of people are saying the stuff that Dr. Disrespect is saying now doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Like, why would Twitch permanently ban one of the people that makes them the most money if they didn't have an actual legit reason? So
Whoa,
the tweets have never, or the DMs have never came out, so we don't know exactly what was said. I don't know, man. I don't know
In the
that.
court of law, it was stated that they did not constitute as sexting by the court of law, and the person that he was quote unquote sexting with was of age. So where is the problem outside of a moral issue?
I would like to see your source on that because that's what Dr. Disrespect claims. Dr. Disrespect was saying that.
It's in the legal papers from Twitch. Like if there was no charges pressed against him, and he was proven innocent based on that, then what? They have no grounds to stand on. But here's the truth behind the fact. Now, I spent a lot of time on Twitch. I work with a lot of partner Twitch streamers. I know you're more of a YouTube guy.
Yep.
So this was the time, if you want some backstory, this is the time when Mixer went under, if you remember. And when Mixer went under, Twitch realized they overpaid a lot of big contracts. Now, the guy that actually was Doc's partner manager at the time, Doc requested a new one when he signed his contract. That's also the same guy that fucking put Doc to the sex offender fucking notifications or whatever on the legal and safety team, which again then ran it and found no wrongdoing. And this guy forwarded it again to the higher ups, which then again, when they went to arbitration and stuff like that, they deemed that there was no wrongdoing. So it honestly, that's a dude who's trying to get payback for Doc running that guy through the ringer. I mean, that's just my take on it. You know what I mean? But without any proof of a court of law, he doesn't have to show those text messages. As a matter of fact, legally, I don't think he can show those text messages.
Why not?
If they're part of that legal, like those documents, he
Well,
can't
maybe
show
not
them.
until the court case is over. But isn't it over?
Maybe. No, well, that part of it, but I don't know what else is taking place now because he's suing the fuck out of these guys for defamation.
So I know during his live stream, all the people in the chat were telling him to show the messages, and he was like, I'm not showing y'all these messages, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I think he can show the messages. He doesn't want to because probably it'll make him look bad. Why else would he not show the messages?
But again, in a court of law, it could have a moral standpoint if he says, you know, I mean, again, if you make a crude joke in 2024, I mean, you've made bad jokes in Discords and chats that...
Me? Never.
You know, but I'm just saying, but no one's going to look at you and label you a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
try.
unless... Well, they could try, but you have the proof to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've
Right.
known you long enough, man. If you were a low-life piece of shit, racist, scumbag, you know, sexist or whatever, I wouldn't talk to you either. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. It's just really, really crazy when people try to, like, push this public agenda when it's like, well, the law cleared the dude, and yet he's still going to have repercussions that cost him millions upon millions of dollars, and who knows what it does to his family or his daughter. I mean, shit. I don't know, man. I was just curious, like...
Motivation is always really important. Now you have provided a little bit of motivation there. If it wasn't for that, I want to understand what Twitch's or anybody's motivation would be to go after Dr. Disrespect if he didn't do what they claimed he did. Because I mean, he not only is he making them money, but he's not like a controversial figure in any way. So I don't know. I know there was like Moist Critical, and there was another big YouTuber who said that they're not buying anything that Dr. Disrespect is saying right now. And then Asmongold also put out a video about it, and he's like on the fence a little bit, but I haven't heard any takes yet like yours, Mo. And Woody agrees with you. He says, I think you got to go with proven law, but we have to be okay with oversight and regulation. Let me see. Oh, we're reconnected. Sorry about that. All right, yeah. So that's why people are thinking that he will get remonetized by YouTube, is because he wasn't charged with any legal consequences.
Yeah, I just don't understand, like, when the foundation of, like, our, at least as far as I've been alive, it's always been proven, you know, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because anybody can say anything about anybody at any given time, but if you don't have the receipt, you don't have the proof, and especially in 2024, there's always some ring cam or some recording to freaking nail somebody, you know what I mean? Without the proof, I mean, I just feel like leaning on public opinion these days, which most people do, is just fucking crazy to me.
I mean, I want to see the DMs. Personally,
listen, I think everybody does too, but just going based on the court of law. You can say, like, Nick Merckx is a good example. Him and Doc were like best friends. Like, they were boys. They used to play everything together. I know this because I watched them all together.
Right.
And even now, Nick put out a video. He's like, listen, I still can't support the guy. He doesn't even say, like, he doesn't say him by name. He just says the guy. It was actually actually kind of pissed me off watching that video a little bit because Nick, pretty level-headed dude, and I just feel like he doesn't want to backtrack and have to answer questions about backtracking, so he's just dying on the hill a little bit. And even people in his own comments were calling him out. But he just kept saying, you know, that guy, you know, I'm not going to associate with that guy, you know. And I don't know, man, to me, that just seems crazy. That one little comment without any sort of, like, proof or evidence, you know. Anyway, I didn't want to turn it into a whole nother segment. I was just curious, in the gaming segment, I guess. But
Yeah.
it just seemed really wild to me, you know.
I feel
But
like
I
we
did.
need-
I love Asmongold too, so I watched that video. Respect the hell out of him.
Yeah, like Asmongold. We need. I feel like we need more information. More information before I can make a final decision. I know we'll probably never see the DMs, but I want to see that the legal papers that you were talking about there. I haven't seen those yet. I didn't know anything about those.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I don't know how much of it would be public knowledge because I know at the time. So when Doc got banned, this was during the COVID misinformation time as well.
Yep.
And he actually on that stream that day, he was doing the whole rant about 5G and the Corona stuff like that, and that was like a big no-no back then. You know what I mean? Like, and even his own chat, which was in subscribers only, was telling him like, "Yo, Doc, what are you talking about? Stop this shit!" Like blah 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 blah. And they were mass reporting his channel, so a lot of people assumed that it was because of misinformation. That's why he got banned. But then me and my boy, even at the time, were like, "Well, that seems like a bit harsh, not to just give him like a 7-day ban." You know what I mean?
Right.
And what everyone turned to at the time was this guy, Rod something, forget his, Slasher, I think is his content name. He's like a news guy, a journalist guy. And he was like, listen, I got sources at Twitch that are saying this is bad. Like, this is bad, bad, bad. You know what I mean? And he was on every podcast, like, pushing the narrative without... He legally couldn't say what it was, you know?
Right.
But... And it all kind of lines up now, because even me and my boy at the time were like, well, if it wasn't COVID misinformation stuff, like... It'd have to be some like child predator type sexual shit. No, like that's the only thing that people was going crazy over, you know. But then everybody was looking up like local precincts and looking for police records and like nothing, you know. So I don't know how much the point is. I don't know how much of that would actually be public now. I'm sure there's like a time frame after the case maybe, and it becomes public. I don't know. But the second that those could be shown, I think they should be shown too. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's wild that they would go that far if it was nothing major, something that couldn't even be charged with a crime, and they got rid of his whole entire channel, which obviously not only is his well-being and his job, but also gives them money as well. So I don't know. Like I said,
well, they weren't making. You have to remember they weren't making that much off of him at that time because that's when Mixer shut down.
Oh, okay.
So Mixer shut down, created a huge ripple in the whole streaming landscape. Because remember, Mixer had Shroud, they had Ninja, those are the main two. Then they had like King Ithalian and a bunch of like high minus tier streamers, but they all had to go back and they were all chasing more contracts. And they were like, well, hey, we know we can't go to Mixer, so now we got a little something on them. We'll just nail them on this, and they just went the full mile, is what it really looks like. And again, the last thing I'll say about it. I've watched Doc pretty much since the beginning. I know Doc's a fucking grown man wearing a wig, and I get that. And you can tell when the dude's acting. If you ever saw Doc when he had the issue where his house got shot at, okay? It turned out to be a BB gun, but at the time, you didn't know, right?
Yep.
When you see him break character, you know when there's like a line with him, right? And that line was drawn that day. That line was drawn the day when he had like the... stuff with his wife come out, stuff like that, when he was cheating. But then the line was also broken on that day when he came back because he had a moment of like weakness from Doc, and it was really, really evident to me at least that shit, man, he's going after people and they're gonna fucking pay. So I believe the guy. I'm still gonna stick with the man until proven guilty. But anyway, I was just more or less curious,
Yeah, I'm gonna stay neutral on it for now because I'm not
Right.
gonna be like one of those people who are like, I can't even say his name on the stream or anything. I don't know. I need more information. All right, let's talk a little bit about VeVe. Did we talk last week about the MCP airdrop Smo? I don't think we did. All right, so this is kind of a newer thing. VeVe just came out with a drop last Saturday. I streamed the drop. It was Happy Tree Friends, and in the drop, there is a crafting event. The crafting event is until this Saturday, but if you collect all 3 of the Happy Tree Friends from that drop, then you can craft this mystery box. And if you craft the mystery box, there's 109 of them. Not only do you get what's in the box, which we don't know what's in the box, but you also get 99,999 MCP points. So, of course, all the Moon Boys are very upset about this because they're like, look, I've been holding these sets for 2 or 3 years, and I've only gained about 99,000 MCP points, and it took me 3 years to do that, and now these other people get the 100,000 MCP points for free just by getting the airdrop. So, I mean, do you think it's a smart move by VeVe to be airdropping these MCP points as a new type of crafting mechanism to where you're going for something not just to get what's in the box or to get the NFT, but to also get the MCP points that you can use later on?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, do we have like a general consensus on the vibe of MCP points? I mean, like, what are people using them for? I mean, does it have to be something super scarce, like a 1 out of 10 to make it worth it? I mean, I just don't know like the vibe of the MCP world right now. I mean, I probably have a bunch too, but
Well, when it's
is
a
it
big drop that
worth
you
it?
know everybody's using MCP points for, you got to use a lot. I think it was the Banksy one where the cutoff was 250,000 MCP points. Just to give you a little bit of clarification, I personally, and I've been on this app since forever, I only have 28,000 MCP points, and I think I've only spent 5,000 from the beginning. So I would never even come close to being able to go for a drop like that. So, I mean,
And how many are you getting in the airdrop?
what's that?
And how many MCP points do you get in the airdrop?
99,999.
So you're telling me as a day one user like yourself and the amount that you've collected and whatever, you're still only at 25K? Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're someone who wants to guarantee it. Yeah, sure. Seems like a good mechanism, I guess.
People are not happy about it. I'm not. I don't think it's.
Of course, I'm on the other side. What else is new?
As usual. No, I feel like you're not rewarding collectors for holding. You're giving that reward that collectors are supposed to get for holding, which is MCP points, to people just for going for the drop. So I mean, it's kind of messed up, and I can see their argument about it. There's a lot of people that are usually very moon boyish, very big bulls in the VeVe community that are.
Oh, because you lose the collectible, you burn it forever.
Well, you do lose the 3 collectibles if you craft and get the box, but really it's the MCP points. The fact that they're airdropping MCP points, and maybe they're going to airdrop more MCP points for other drops or crafting events in the future. And then the whole point of holding your collectibles all this time to gain MCP points is kind of diminished now, because somebody can just come in, like you said, a day one user. If a day one user does this event and crafts, they have 3 times the MCP points that I have, and I've been on the app for over 3 years. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, again, I don't really know the full extent of the system, so I'm so checked out of VeVe at this point. I am just a collector. I just hold and wait. I wait for you or BE or somebody big A to hit me up and be like, "Hey, Captain America #1's coming out, douchebag."
Or a big drop or something. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. Anytime that there's been a drop that's was worth using your MCP points, I've never had enough MCP points to get that drop, because everybody else already has a lot of MCP points because they've been holding collectibles, and I sold all my stuff back in the day. Let's catch up with the chat, see what they think about it. Big A says, I thought the set in the market today, I bought the set to gamble on the craft being worth it. 109 editions is super low, paid 120 for all 3. Here's the thing though. Something like 300 people will be able to complete the set, because that is the edition size for the ultra rare, but there's only 109 mystery boxes, so not everybody who completes the set and tries to craft will be able to craft. I think it's going to be kind of like Spamgate, where whoever clicks first is the one that gets to craft and gets the 99,999 MCP points. Greedy One says, is there going to be another drop worth using MCP? I mean, Captain America #1. I mean, who knows what they're going to drop. I think they should get the Karate Kid IP. Drop some Cobra Kai NFTs. I would love a Cobra Kai gi, especially like an accessory that I could put on Batman. That would be super dope. Somebody just mentioned to me on Twitter, and I double checked it to make sure, because I heard this before a million times, but at this time it's true. They are making a Goonies Part 2. Get that Goonies IP. Drop me some Goonies NFTs. The One-Eyed Willie FA. Big A says, I owned a decent amount and only had 100K MCP points, and most, and used the black pink drop, which ended up being a huge L. Yeah, there you go. Big A, as we know, is a big guy on VeVe. He's got a lot of collectibles. I don't know how many. I don't know if he has a ton, but he only has 100K MCP points, and that's how many they're giving away. So, I mean, it's crazy that a person on day one can come and catch up with Big A just by doing this one crafting event. I agree with Denny OC. 25K might have made more sense. 100K is quite a bit. Everyone says, I've been on this app since 2021, and I only have 42K. Yeah, and Greedy One's got a lot of collectibles, and he's gone for tons and tons of drops. I'm the same way. It's crazy that they're going to be able to have over twice as much MCP points just from one drop. Woody says MCP has been a little disappointing. 250,000 to buy Banksy. Yeah, that was the cutoff. 250,000 MCP, and the floor is currently $100. Oh, the secret rare is 2K. Well, that's not bad. The secret rare is 2K. I saw the floor. The Banksy was going down to $100. DLC says, even at 10K, that's not enough for a couple of drops in some cases. I agree. Fist says, OG sounds like a robot. That might be just my voice, bro. Need to clear my throat. Let me know in the chat if I sound weird or if that's just how I always sound. Mr. V's been on VeVe for 3 years, and you know he's got a big account. He's got a lot of special mints, though. I don't know if you get extra MCP for those. You do if they're low mints, though, and he's only got 250K MCP. Jumped ship with trying to go for those and made my choices. Stackers have yet to see the benefits for MCP. Even some didn't land the 1 million point Banksy. Well, 250K. But yeah, exactly. Definitely going for the drop for points makes sense for such a low entry. Yeah, if you're able to get the crafting, I feel like the 100 MCP points pays for whatever gems you have to spend to get that mystery box, despite what's inside the box, which is probably going to be something from Happy Tree Friends, because it even says that the I forget what they call it, but the IP, the license is Happy Tree Friends, so it's going to be a Happy Tree Friends collectible. Some people are saying, oh, what if it's like a David U collectible? I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Happy Tree Friends collectible. Although it's super scarce, it's probably not going to be worth more than 100 gems.
Wait a second. What if it's David U being brutally murdered one at a time by all the characters?
That would
Animated.
be super cool, actually.
Holy shit. That would be funny because that would show that he has a sense of humor.
Right.
I'm not saying want to murder David Yu, by the way, just for clarity. I'm just
That's
saying
what I thought
that
at
their
first. I
whole...
was like, whoa, bro.
No,
But
I'm
no, I
just
hear
saying
you.
that it's the shtick of the show. You know what I'm saying? Of
Yeah.
like the brutal stuff. Like it would be funny if he actually just said, I'm cool with it, and had like, was it Choppy or what the dude's name is? Like just come in and do like chop him in half or something, like comically, cartoon like.
I mean,
I just want to.
especially if it had David Yu in it too, and that seems like a really cool animation. Now that would be worth a couple thousand, I think, if that's what they do.
That's what I'm saying. I'd
Yeah.
go crazy for that shit.
Absolutely. Bitcoin being Dub says he's saving his MCP for Pokemon, so you're saving it until the year 2030. Now, I don't know if we're ever getting Pokemon, man. I don't know, maybe. Big A says BE brought up a good counterpoint today, though. Like 300 secret rares after what VeVe keeps, and then 109 gets burned and craft leaves Cuddles. Around 200 editions if you miss the craft. That is a good point, because the ones that you use to craft will get burnt, and I think Cuddles is something around 300 editions, so at least 100 of those are going to get burned. 109 of those are going to get burned, so that's going to make that super scarce. But then you just burnt yours, so how does that help the people who craft? What do you mean by like 300 secret rares? Daniel C says, I think we should be able to sell our MCP points. Yes, I like that idea. The whales would be selling. Gritty One says, I'm not too upset about it. Like Mo, I'm pretty checked out on VeVe. VeVe scratched the collector itch, but really doesn't feel the same anymore. It's definitely lost the hype. VeVe's
But
hype.
they can bring it back, man. Like, listen, this stuff's not dead. Okay, just go back and look at the video game stuff in the 70s. It came, and it's like, oh, the Fed is dead, and then 1978, Atari, yada yada yada. You all know the rest. Listen, these things can easily come back. We've had some fun. We're still having fun. So now we get to do this on Tuesday.
Right. I mean, we still got a pretty strong community, but it's shrinking. I just saw a couple other people this week, a couple people, not just one, this week, showing that they had sold all their collectibles. So I don't know, man. We need to be adding users, not losing users, and I don't know how you add new users right now. NFTs in general have to be more mainstream. I can't remember who it was. Somebody tweeted. It was somebody from VeVe tweeted about how CryptoPunks have pumped again. So it's kind of strange how some NFTs still have a little bit of traction. And if they still have traction, then maybe VeVe can still have traction too at some point. They need advertising from those big companies. Like I was saying the other day, if they put VeVe commercials at the beginning of every Marvel movie in the theater with a QR code, I mean, right there, we would triple users at least. Daniel C says it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up and back around again. Is that the market? Who's reached level 100 on VeVe? Do we have any level 100ers in the chat? I saw Mr. V here. I don't know. He might be up there. Big A might be up there. Greedy One might be up there. Maybe not anymore. Big A says.
I wonder if VeVe. Sorry. I wonder if the VeVe thing is similar to the DraftKings situation with Rainmakers. Like they had Kevin Hart commercials out the ass on those first 2-3 weeks, and as soon as they had any sort of win from like legal pushback in certain states, they just stopped advertising altogether. Like no tweets, no nothing. It was just all, if you know, you know, and you kind of recruit people word of mouth. Like that's kind of how it became real quick, like real quick.
Yeah.
But I wonder if VeVe's got that in the back of their head too.
Well, maybe not just VeVe, but the licensors themselves. Maybe Disney and Marvel have that in the back of their head. They don't want to promote it, and then it ends up rugging, and then everybody gets mad at them for promoting something they rugged.
Well, even if it doesn't rug, what if it creates insane value and the golden moment vault goes up to $1 million, and now you got the SEC looking at Disney and their IPs, their securities, and now they got to answer these questions, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's a very real potential scenario, you know. So
yeah, 100%. Big A says, all right, so he's breaking it down for us. Those Cuddles, which is the ultra rare for the Happy Tree Friends drop. VeVe kept 40 of them. There are 350 total, so there's 310 left. And then they keep 100, or they burn 109 whenever the crafting events happen. So there's 201 left, but also 80 unsold. Yeah, it's not even sold out yet. So 121 total after craft right now. But those will always sit there forever, Big A. So if that all happens and there's only 201 left, only 100 with 121 still in the store, that floor price is going to be super high. And when that floor price gets super high, then people are going to go in and buy the blind boxes because they're never just going to burn the unsold supply. They don't do that anymore. So eventually people will just go in and buy those blind boxes to gamble to hope to get the Cuddles that's worth 500 at the time. Greedy One says, we need another pandemic, bored people with stimmy checks. I mean, the pandemic was great for me. I'll be honest. I got sick a couple times, but man, I got to work from home. Even before I started doing YouTube, the Census Bureau job, they sent me home to work from home for like 3 or 4 months. I love working from home. I wish I
was already working from home, so it wasn't much of a change for me.
Then you got the stimulus checks and all that good stuff. That's true. We need some more of that. Abdullah says, VeVe needs to get on TikTok. I'm sure they got some TikTok channel. I'm pretty sure. I think, Corey. I think Corey puts out TikTok videos, but I could be wrong. Put those collectibles in AR and pay famous TikTokers. That's a good idea. Get some TikTok influencers to do some videos with the collectibles. 100%. Absolutely. What he says.
Yeah, they're going to be getting people coming down on them, being like, oh, NFTs, this, that. They look into it, and it's like, oh, now you got the SEC on your ass. And you're like, oh, well, now what do I do? You know, we need Gensler to get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? We need a whole shake-up. And you know what? I'm going to give you a quick analogy, and then you can wrap up on the chat. My bad. Real quick, though. If you have kids around right now, plug their ears. All right? I'm going to give you a little analogy. Bo, tell me what you think.
Go for it.
This whole NFT scenario feels a lot like trying to get laid. Okay? Remember early on, if you were younger, like a new relationship, you know, you think you could go over and just bang that broad right away. That's not how it goes. You know, you play a little tonsil hockey, then you start your hand up top, and you work your way down, Every time they grab your hand, they say, no, I'm not ready for that, right? You keep going, boom. I feel like we're playing these little virgin games right now. And eventually, it's just all going to come at once. And they're just going to spread their legs open, we're just going to slam it in. You know what I mean?
I think that already happened. That happened in 2021. That's when we were
that was when they let us finger bang them the first time. Oh. I'm talking about when we're going to go full-blown, we're making babies for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going all in. Does it make sense to you? Am I off base here? I feel like we haven't hit that crescendo yet.
I mean, I guess you could be right. But what's anal then? Are we just going straight to the moon?
straight to the moon. It's a weird analogy, but it's just how it feels, man. It feels like a little bit, and then bam, just all at once. We're just going in. I hope you're right. I don't feel like we've gotten there yet. I don't.
You might be right. Woody says the people selling all the collectibles are going to be like the people that used Mickey Minnows in their bike spokes. I mean, you're not wrong. You could be right, especially if Mo's metaphor is correct. Big A says a lot of NFT projects have been on upswing for the past month or so. I've been hearing that. A kid called Beast got down to single 07 ETH last month. Today it's at 0.25. Wow, almost a 4x. Interesting. And I saw CryptoPunks were going up too. Denny OC says, how does the Hawk Tui girl get more well-known than VeVe? Well, I mean, if you're Hawk Tuing it, you'll be well-known too. Pokey says, OG, you hate jobs outside? Are there any outside jobs that pay well? I would say, yeah, I do hate jobs outside. I can't think of any outside jobs that pay well. Abdullah says, VeVe is the most Web 2 app. You ain't wrong about that. Greedy One likes that analogy. They should get Jake Paul to promote VeVe. I mean, they already got Logan Paul, and that didn't help much. That was Omi, though. Perfect sense, Mo, straight to Uranus, says Tony OC. All right. Yeah. I think Bitcoin BMW just realized, wait, we already had a Paul brother, but that was more of a pump and dump, an Omi pump and dump. And like we said, Omi apparently just burned 3 billion of the supply. Not exactly sure why. And we also mentioned that Biscuits has just opened a new Discord channel that's pretty popular. If you guys want to check it out, I'm sure you can find it by looking her up on Twitter. If you can't find it, go into my Discord and I'll give you the link. I can't do it right now because I'll probably crash my computer. But there's a lot of OGs in there, a lot of fun in there, honestly. A lot of people with their complaints, showing screenshots, all that good stuff. Might be interesting if you're into that kind of stuff.
And real quick, Crown is up 18% in the past 24 hours, and it's actually really up since the announcement of the those kiosk machines from this morning. So I think people assume that the gambling partnership is going to be announced at Breakpoint potentially. So
I can see why. That's a pretty big announcement. Denny OC says I make decent living in outside. Oh, I'm outside 100% of my work. What do you do, Denny OC? I'm curious. Because I would like to work outside, except for in the winter. And then Mo on PFL, when's that app coming, dog? When app?
When app? I mean, it's from what I understand, it was in approval or like a pending approval status. So I don't think Ian's going to share when it gets finally approved. But when it first got submitted, he was being real vocal and keeping us up to date. And normally that shit gets kicked back pretty quick because I've tried to submit some apps too in the past for people.
Right.
That shit gets kicked back real quick. And they basically got kicked back with a bunch of questions about the blockchain part of it, which they had the answers for. Apparently they passed that part and now they're in like the game testing certification part of it, I guess. So
it's not like the VeVe verse, right?
No, this I would imagine, and I have no inside information because they don't tell me shit. I would assume probably within the next 30 days.
Ooh, I hope so. I think that's going to be a big boost for PFL whenever they get that app going, because there's already a lot of people who use their apps from the other game. Big A says
it could be the announcement at Breakpoint, to be honest, because that would actually break shit if they announced the app was live from the floor at Solana. I mean, so they have a big race going on. I don't know if I'm calling it or not, but it's like 12 of all the 12 biggest I would say companies, you know what I mean, like DAOs and brands on Solana.
Right.
It's the 16 biggest. They're all running a race against each other.
Ooh,
so
that's nice. So that's going to get all their communities involved or interested at least a little bit too. I like that idea. They know what they're doing over there at PFL. Big A says, and Denny as well, apparently they're doing roofing. I would be down to do some roofing. I hear it gets really hot up there during the summer, but I'm skinny. I'm down to get hot. I just put on some SPF 200 sunscreen, and I'm good to go. I had to replace 5 roofs 2 years ago. That's something I would definitely do. Abdullah says, imagine that NPC Miles Morales with the VeVe collectible Miles Morales. Both, ooh. I don't know. That guy's kind of been into a lot of trouble lately. But yeah, the NPC Miles Morales, do you know who that is, Mo?
No. NPC, like
so you know
character?
You know who that one girl is where she's like... she's like an NPC and she makes like tons of money. She's on TikTok and like people will give her, you know what I'm talking about?
I just laugh. I love how we fucking just refer to people as NPCs now.
No, she's literally, that's, you got to know what I'm talking. She's literally an NPC. So they like pretend to be NPCs, and whenever you give them some type of message, they'll do what the message says. So they're like saying the same stuff over and over, but for some reason they're making tons of money. And there's the really popular one that's Miles Morales, and you gotta look up NPCs, bro. NPCs on TikTok.
Is it AI or something virtual?
No,
or is
it's
an
an
actual person.
So it's an actual person, but they're kind of like pretending to be an NPC. How do you not know about
just
this?
like control. So basically, it's just like pay money to control somebody and tell them what to do and what to say.
Basically, yes. How
That's
does he not know
hilarious.
about this? Was huge, like I don't know, 6 months, a year ago. Everybody, I can't believe you don't know about this. You gotta look that up tonight. There's this one really popular chick. I can't remember her name, like Sweetie Pie or something. I can't remember her name, but she's the one that most people refer to. I've even tried to do not really try to do MP streams, but I joked around about doing NPC streams during my live streams before because everybody knows about that. Can't believe Mo hasn't heard about that. Check it out. You'll probably recognize it. Danielle C says,
I just assumed everybody, because even when I watch, podcasts, whatever, I was like, yeah, this fucking bot person, that NPC person. I just assumed it was like just dumbasses.
These are actual people that try to be NPCs. No, they're literally.
That's funny.
Well, they're not literally NPCs, but they're literally people pretending to be NPCs, which is wild in the first place. Danielle C says, I charge over $10 per square foot. You need to get me started on that, Danielle C. Can I buy a franchise of your business, bro? Greedy One says, quick off-topic question. I'm building a PC. I ordered a 4070. I did research. It seems okay, and it's more in my budget. Wasn't trying to spend the 4090 money. Is it any good? Mo, I don't know. I'm a software guy. I don't know anything about
Which
hardware.
it depends on which 4070. Is it the regular NVIDIA 4070, or is it one of those overclocked? It's one of them overclocked ones I normally stick with. Was it the MSI? And there's another one that my boy, the one that passed away, he used to swear by this. It's the MSI, and it was another company. Can't think of it off the top of my head. But you gotta be careful, though. Is the moral of the story? Just be careful how much overclock and stuff it has on the card.
Are these graphics cards you're talking about?
Yeah, the graphics card.
Right.
Sorry.
Abdullah says there's endless marketing opportunities, but VeVe is deciding to wait when there's 5 people left, and they made so much money too. They've got the money to market, but they don't want to market. I don't understand why. I think they just want to keep that money for themselves. I mean, that's the only explanation I can come up with. Big A says I had to pay to replace 5 of my properties. Yeah, Big A's a big renter. He's one of those landlords everybody complains about. I didn't do the work.
Slumlord.
Slumlord. I don't know about that. I didn't do the work, and it was expensive. Oh, you should have done it yourself. You should have called up Denny OC. He would have done it for you. Yes, Pinky Doll. That's her name. See, everybody knows Big A's talking about it. She's like, ice cream's so good. So when you do the ice cream emoji, she says, ice cream's so good, but you got to pay her to do that. Bro, yeah, look up Pinky Doll. Just look up
Trust
Pinky
me,
Doll.
if I'm paying a chick to do something, it ain't to say ice cream's so good. You know what I mean?
I hear that. Let's
They
see.
scream. I don't scream.
All right, it's about time to end the live stream. We got to get ready for the big debate tonight. Should be interesting. Reg 4070, not TI, not super. There you go. Greedy One's got some for you. Daniel C says I could teach you in a season and you can make some great salad. Let's do it. I'm down 100%. Absolutely. All right, everybody. About to end the stream. Luckily, we were able to have the stream today. I didn't even think it was going to work at the beginning.
Yeah, we made it.
We got it. We got in there. We did it. We had the chat. I didn't fix my camera, but oh well. And we got
You
some.
did good.
Got
And
some,
yeah, Greedy, you should be good with the 4070, man. Like I said, I mean, just, I don't know what the going price is, though. Just don't overpay.
Yeah, I don't know the prices right now either. I know I had to look for a graphics card when I put my computer together, but that was like 5 years ago, and now it's too old. I need a new one. 5 years is a long time for a computer these days. Thank you, Denny OC. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out with us and for participating. We're running out of ideas for paranormal topics, so if you guys come up with any good paranormal topics, I know people sometimes will DM me from time to time with good ideas for paranormal topics, send it on over. We'll check it out. I'll try to do some research, and hopefully I can put a video together, and we'll have something paranormal to talk about next week. Mo, what you got planned for this week?
Man, more PFL. It's week 3. Just got championships coming up next week. Outside of that, I joined a metaverse project. It's kind of like a metaverse, I guess, but it's Code Miko. She's like a VTuber, but she created like this in-game Unreal Engine world. So I'm trying to get in there, and I'm trying to brand advertise for PFL because I can build my own house and my own property. I'm going to build a racetrack in her fucking world and try to promote to everybody else and try to like link it. It's just a harebrained idea I had. It cost me $75 to get access. So I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. She's also very funny. So I tune into that, and just, that's what I'm up to. I'm trying to blend my way into that world, and yeah, that's it, man. But thank you, dude, for hosting. Thank you, chat, for hanging out. Good fun as always, and we'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. We will see you on the next episode. I'll be live this weekend if VeVe has any drops, which I'm sure they will. And until then, we'll see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Later, homies. I'm going to try to play the outro. If it's too buggy, I'll just exit it out. We'll try it. Later, guys. Exactly is the debate. The debate is about, are the new comics causing the Grail comics to drop in price? And I think that's obvious. I'm on the